Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Derek. Today I'm going to go over macro planning and why it's important to put your meals in ahead of time for either MyFitnessPal or your food logs. There's going to be two different types of ways to go about this and why it is important. One is how to adjust when you sort of fall off the plan a little bit, and gives you a little bit more flexibility. And also when we're first starting out and making our plan. All right. The first one is going to be the latter. So it's going to end up being this is what I'm planning on eating today, November 14th. Now, full disclosure, I am starting to go into a little bit more higher calories, and I have not really done this yet. So, this is going to be the first little plan. And so, I'm going to explain what my mindset is as I put all this stuff into. Okay, so I literally just put this stuff in here. This is typically what I usually eat, but now I have to eat a lot more carbs, a lot more calories. So I have to be really, really creative in some of the stuff. Obviously, the plan can easily be a little bit more cleaner, as you will see. All right, so um, end results. Here are my numbers. I should be around like 2,500 calories. I'm going really, really high carbs because I'm doing a lot of working out, a lot of weights. My fats need to be relatively lower, and this should be a little bit lower as well. That's why I have to sort of tweak it. And one of the biggest things will end up being this, okay, which is why I need to adjust a little bit. But the importance is because I'm putting in all my meals first. All right. Now I do this, and as you see, there's some candies in here and things like that, just because I know I'm going to end up having that. Um, Cliff Bar, which some of you guys that are dieting are not really going to be having. Some of these I would not have if I was cutting down. Okay, so that is the full disclosure. That's why I'm a little bit different, but the premise is still the same. Okay, I'm planning it all out. This is generally what I usually have, but just larger quantities. All right. So I put everything in here and then I just adjust. All right. So if my protein is too high to where I need to be at, or my sodium is too high, all right, what I'm going to end up doing is find out where the sodium is going to be too high. And the big indicators is this stuff from Chipotle, especially the tortilla. Now, what I'd end up doing is I would just delete it. All right. It updates it. And now my calories are going to be lower. My sodium is going to be roughly where I want it to be. Okay. Carbs are going to be lower. So now I still have to find my range and I would just add it. So instead of maybe a tortilla, maybe I have some rice. Maybe I have a sweet potato here and there for a snack or something like that. Or I might just up the amount of oatmeal. Maybe instead of having just a quarter of a cup, maybe I have an entire cup. Okay, and I adjust those portions until my numbers are exact. All right. And that's how I adjust everything. But I have to put the stuff in beforehand. Okay. Some of you guys sort of do the reverse engineering. But basically, I could put my dinner in here first and then work my way backwards to where I have more flexibility. I need to put that in there because I know I'm going to have that. Maybe that's my family time. I'm going to put that exact thing that I'm going to eat and I work my way backwards because this might be this might be mac and cheese with my kids, stuff like that. Whatever. I'm going to do this and work my way backwards. All right. So that is what I end up doing. I put everything in there and then I just adjust until my numbers are good. Again, this is going to be adjusted quite readily. I had to be really, really creative with some of this stuff at first. All right. So now we're going to look at a different situation. We're going to look at yesterday's, and this is a little bit more different or more ideal for a guy. Okay. 170 protein, lower fat for me, a little bit decent range for the carbs, as well as like my calories. So this is where I should be at if I was on a cut currently. All right, and you just see the stuff is a little bit more better. Still going to Chipotle, but I cut out all that other stuff. All right, so this is a little bit better food quality as well. But what I'm going to end up doing is, let's say I have, we're going to find Hostess cupcake. I'll find that. Boom. All right. Hostess cupcake. I always bring up this. All right. So if you remember, it was at 1880. Everything else was pretty spot on, and boom. Now, higher fats, okay, high carbs, and I'm way above. I'm like about 200 calories above where I need to be, solely because of that one little cupcake. Okay, as you see, it's 26 carbs. Nothing else really where we want it to be. It's 100% here, here, and here, which is what we do not want to be. So, how do I adjust for that? And that's why it's important to have that plan. Everything else was spot on. I had everything else, so I can't change anything here. All right. Now I wanted that cupcake. So now something else has to change. I have to take something off. Okay. Well, if I'm really high in calories and high in carbs, what I can end up doing is now maybe I just don't have that rice or I don't have that coconut oil. So now I'm going to adjust that. And as you see, it's pretty spot on what I have right here. Obviously, this is a lot more nutritious. Okay. But something else has to get balanced out. Maybe I want that coconut oil. So boom. All right. I do that. I take away that rice, and now everything's pretty much the same. All right. Now I'm going to get a lot more out of that rice than that cupcake, but that's how we adjust our day if we fall off. Okay. Maybe I want that Coke. Okay. Because I haven't had it in a while or anything like that. Well, how do I still fit it into my plan? Okay. Now, some of you guys, you might fall off the plan, and people talk about how it's a slippery slope and stuff like that, and I understand that. Okay. I'm just showing you what needs to happen if you do fall off. All right. And what most people end up doing is if they fall off at lunch, their dinner and their snacks, it's all hell breaks loose because, oh, I just messed up, so I'm just gonna just go do whatever the hell I want and fall off my plan. Okay. Instead, I had that cupcake. Okay. Maybe you have a brownie at home or at work or something like that. Okay, fine. I'm gonna put this in here, and now I can adjust the rest of the day. Now, if I don't know exactly what it is, you can find a regular brownie. It's going to be relatively there. Basically, you're going to overestimate what you're going to end up having if you don't know exactly what it is. Okay, I just knew what it is because I knew exactly what I was having. But say you have a brownie or a piece of cake or something like that, you put it in here still and you overestimate it. Okay, and now you look at your rest of your day and you adjust. Now maybe I can't look at my rest of the day because I'm working and I'm having this. Well, if I get home, I can adjust what I'm going to end up having. All right. Maybe I go with a little bit less something. It might get to the point to where I might just literally have baked cod and broccoli with some cooked in water instead of coconut oil because I have to get rid of all this stuff. But that's how we adjust when we fall off the plan. But none of this happens if I don't plan out my day, if I don't put it in the day ahead of time. Okay. Now, again, that might not work well with everyone, but it works out relatively well, and that's how we adjust. All right. So those are the two different ways of why macro planning and why putting stuff in ahead of time work out well, is because now all of a sudden you can adjust because you have a lot more control. If you don't put it in there the day before, it becomes relatively hard. Now, if you don't want to, that's fine, but realize that starting to puts the control into your hands as opposed to just flying by the seat of your pants and you don't really know where you're at. Okay. Do you need to do this on MyFitnessPal? Absolutely not. It just helps having a numbers in front of you. Now, if you do regular just meal planning and putting it on a piece of paper or something like that, that's fine too because you can see exactly where it's at. If you have that cupcake, okay, fine. I know what it equals because I looked at the nutrition label. So now instead of putting it in MyFitnessPal, I might adjust accordingly. Okay, what's higher carbs? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now I'm going to take that away. Without actually seeing the number, you can sort of adjust on the fly. Maybe you have more veggies at dinner because you had that cupcake. Okay, awesome. Okay, and that's how we get our days going a little bit better. That nutrition checks and balances. All right. So we haven't done this yet. Macro planning is 100% a game changer in most of my clients. Okay, so try it out. If you haven't done it, again, it helps out tremendously, even with people that have never done it before, or they're really stressed out using MyFitnessPal. Try it using MyFitnessPal. If it doesn't work for you, just make sure we're still planning out the day ahead of time, so we're not just doing it and all of a sudden at the end of the day we have 800 calories that we have to eat, or we only have 10 calories left, and now all of a sudden we're eating a egg or a piece of celery for dinner. Okay, try it out, see how it works, and keep on adding it on there.